And the short-term rental discussion, number 5. We'll put those on the agenda for the next meeting. Approval of minutes for October 21. Did you get a chance to look at those?
Yeah, I make a motion we approve them.
All right. Motion, I'll make a second. Beth, you got that? Approval of the meeting minutes for October 21.
Yeah, Steve.
That would be number 3. Item number 3 on the agenda. All right, we'll go to number 6, emergency bridge repairs. 20 minutes. You're up.
Is this good?
Yeah, that's fine.
You can see me or whatever?
That's fine. If they can't, we got a mic right here, but
Okay.
it's a small room, small crowd,
Okay.
if you'd rather.
All right, everybody see that? So we have a presentation here tonight. Hi, welcome. My name's Rob Young. We're here tonight to talk about Plymouth Bridge Route 100A projects. We have 6 bridges on the state system that the state is programmed.
Hey,
And
thank you.
we're looking to repair. They've all had some temporary emergency repairs, and so we've had 6 permanent projects in place. You can go to the next slide. All right, so I'm Rob Young. I'm project manager of V-Trans. This is Tom Knight over here from Stantec, and Gary LaRush from V-Trans. And Leah Beckett is here. She's our public outreach folks. That's going to be kind of a contact for the community for these bridges. So hopefully tonight we want to provide understanding and approach to the project, identify some current efforts that we have currently going on these sites, provide an opportunity to folks to ask questions about the projects. And really, these are projects resulted from the July of 2023 storm. And something to point out is that these bridges, a lot of them were not hydraulically adequate. The ones that survived, some of them did not, but even the ones that did are not hydraulically adequate. So what that allows us to do with this emergency funds is we can program permanent fixes, even though these projects aren't really at the end of their design life, but because they are constricting the channels, they weren't constructed with the best hydraulics in mind at the time. We're going to go ahead and replace those structures. So that's what you'll see tonight is some real brief overview. There's 6 projects. You know, we got a short time here, so we're going to kind of go through them pretty quickly. But generally, we're just replacing them to improve the hydraulics of the site. So here they are, that little map on the right. There is one bridge in Bridgewater, actually. It's Bridge 116. Then going down, it's Bridge 112 and Bridge 108. Those are all on Vermont 108. And then on Vermont 100A, there's Bridge 4, 7, and 9. So that's a lot of bridges in the area. They're all state-owned. There's no local share. But they all are currently program projects that we're working on. And then on the left is kind of just the name. The P is like a permanent result of the 2023 flood. And then those are all like the program numbers. All right. So this is a quick typical section kind of showing what we're doing. So this is, that basically shows 11-foot lanes for the travel lanes, which is the existing corridor through 100 and 100A. Each of the shoulders are a little varying through each bridge, but we are going to attempt to match those existing shoulders. So you're not going to see a lot of a difference as far as roadway width for these replacements, but there is going to be new bridge rail. On the left, you can see the new bridge rail that meets current design standards. So that'll probably be the biggest change for the projects on 100A. All right, so I'll start off with Bridge 4. That's the one that's furthest south. These bridges are going to look a lot alike, but they go along the corridor of Route 100A. The river's kind of following the valley on the right. It crosses the road kind of at a steep angle. And what they did was they had a narrow bridge, and they kind of constricted the channel when the bridges were originally put in. So this particular structure is only 22 feet long. It was constructed in 1947, and it was reconstructed and widened in 1975. Show the next. So there's a quick photographs showing there is some effervescence. That's kind of like the white material. You can see that there's the minerals that are leaching out of the concrete. You can see there's been the stone fill repairs that were done in the 2023 site. And You can tell that it's not in the best condition.
Where on 100 is that one?
You can go back to the satellite view. I don't know if you can tell. They all look very similar, so it's hard to tell.
Sure, what mile marker it is. That's okay.
Rick, it's just north of my driveway.
That's the one.
Yeah, the first one there.
Okay.
Well, this is Bridge 4 that we just talked about. So net bridge, okay, so this shows a typical section. You can, well, it's hard to see, but there's the grayed out area is the existing bridge that's actually in the middle of that gray footprint there. So the gray area is the new structure that's skewed to line a little bit better with the current alignment of the stream. And the new span is 51 feet, 31 feet out to out. And the stream will be reestablished back to its natural state. And the plan for this one is construction in 2027. And this is Bridge 7. It looks a little different. This is a concrete T-beam. Still not the best. You can see some exposed rebar there. You can go to the next slide. So maybe they see that's Snowmobile Vermont Backcountry Tours, I guess, is close by. But again, same situation. It crosses at a pretty steep angle. The existing structure here is 32 feet. And it was in that same time frame, 1947, reconstructed in 1975. And there's some photos showing, on the left, you can see in that first photo is a slab bridge, and that was widened from that existing concrete T-beam on the right. So it's actually two different structures at that site. But it's all concrete structure. You can see a lot of effervescence, some exposed rebar. Yes?
Could you explain what that effervescence actually is?
It's the minerals inside the concrete. So so you have the paste, right, the aggregate and the stone, and you also have the cementous materials and the minerals. So if it cracks and moisture gets in there, then it leaches out over time. It's, basically it's deterioration of the concrete. Next slide. So this one is 11-foot length, 2.5-foot shoulders, and we're increasing it to 52 foot. With 31 feet out to out. And this one will also be constructed in the summer of 2027. All right, Bridge 9. This is the one that's next to your house,
Yeah.
Rick. So this is a slab bridge. Next slide. So this was 31 feet right now. And this one was constructed in 1984.
Sorry,
Question?
I just missed it. What's the start date for bridge number 7?
Bridge number 7 is in the summer of 2027.
2020, oh, so both of them are 2027?
Correct. Yep. Bridge 9 has existing right-of-way that was large enough that we didn't need to go through the right-of-way process, which allowed us to kind of accelerate it so we can build it this summer. And we're planning on advertising that soon. But similar situation, concretes in similar, you can see the red line here. So there's a crack that our inspectors kind of highlighted that. They do that and they monitor it, and then they inspect the bridges every 2 years to see if it's getting worse. But you also see that photo on the right, that abutment is really in the channel, so not ideal for hydraulics. So we're increasing that span to 49 feet, and this bridge is 36 feet out to out, and that's the one we're constructing next summer. All right, with that one, that's all the 100A bridges right now. And I'll turn it over to you folks for 100.
All righty. Thanks, Rob. Gary LaRoche. We'll start off with Plymouth Bridge 108. This bridge is situated south of the interchange of Vermont 100 and Vermont 100A. Next slide, please. The existing bridge is a slab bridge, 24-foot span. Here are some pictures of the bridge and the 2023 event. The biggest issue with this particular site is there's a enormous sediment source upstream of the bridge. And when you get these large rain events, such as Hurricane Irene, the 2023 storm, then a large slug of sediment comes downstream and essentially plugs up the bridge and overtops the road and so forth. Next slide. So the proposed solution is to install 2 additional 12-foot box culverts on each side of the existing 24-foot slab bridge structure to assist in relieving, to help sediment transport through the structure and to also help relieve the floodwater that's passing through the area. There will also be some additional flood relief culverts along the corridor in the vicinity of the bridge.
Is this the Muddy Brook Bridge?
Yes,
or
it
the
is.
one- Okay.
The Money Brook, yep.
Was there anything planned downstream of the bridge?
All the work is situated close to Vermont 100 in this area. So in addition to the culverts that we're going to be installing, we're going to install armoring along the channel. I believe Tom can speak to this,
Yeah,
what that may look like.
yeah, so actually the intent with this bridge, as Gary mentioned, is to just give it some redundancy if we have another storm where we see a lot of aggregate come down. We know that we can't really design for the flow in that aggregate at the same time, so we're giving the waterway another path so it doesn't get all trapped on the high, the high side of the road during a storm. And hopefully just reduce the amount of damage that happens when some of that landslide lets loose. I know you're talking about quite a bit of sediment downstream of the structure, and we are gonna clear a small area on the downstream end of the bridge, but not gonna chase it all the way down to the Black River.
Because in 2023, I think the stones filled up that whole culvert, so water couldn't get through.
Yeah, we had one of the images here showed that, and then not only that, but the channel was blocked off up above the bridge, and it diverted the stream over to another portion of the road where there's no bridge for it to even cross at. So that's part of this. The plan here is to actually reinforce the fill slopes on the roads, so that if water does flow over the road, it's not going to rip the road out. Like it might damage the pavement, it might leave a bunch of aggregate on the road, but it'll hopefully reduce the amount of time it takes to clean things back up and get it open again. So it's more of a resiliency project.
I'm curious about these box culverts. Are they prefab concrete structures?
Yes.
And when you
Yes.
say 12 foot, is that the width?
That's the width. Yeah, and so they're 12 feet, and we're aiming for about 8 feet in height. And the idea with those, or one of the design constraints, is not only to allow the water through and the aggregate through, but it's so we can get equipment in there to clean out the sediment after one of these storms happen. It's basically sized so you can get a bobcat in there and hog that material out when you need to.
Do you think it will address boulders though? Because that's a large part of what comes down in Muddy Brook also.
So
Larger, not,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we understand that we get really big
yeah.
material coming down there, and that material will have to be cleaned out of the channel, on occasion. That's the sediment source up there on the mountainside is just enormous, and all sizes of materials can come rolling down there. So we are aware of that.
And essentially, the resiliency project, we're trying to make it so Vermont 100 is not interrupted for such a duration in the future, and to understanding that it's to make it serviceable, when you do get these large sediment.
I was sure you're gonna address it at some point, but road closures and timing.
Yes, yep, that's after these slides, yep.
I
Yep.
think
Absolutely. Next slide. Okay, so moving on to Bridge 112. This structure, next slide. So this structure, it's a 11-foot 11-foot wide, 7-foot high squash pipe structure. There was heavy flow through this area during the storm as well. As a resiliency project, this structure is reaching toward the end of its service life. There were some bolt line cracks that were observed after the storm event that this structure was inspected just prior to the storm or event. So we understand that those are new. Next slide. We're looking to replace that structure with a brand new 20-foot box culvert that's capable to pass the hydraulic flow, and it's also going to accommodate aquatic organism passage. Next slide. And finally, the last bridge is the northernmost bridge close to the Plymouth Bridgewater town line. This is Bridge 116. This bridge was, or the culvert that was there was also a 11-foot wide, 7-foot high squash pipe, but it was demolished by the floodwaters. This site is also receives a lot of sediment transport as you get large storm events like Irene in the 2023 storm. This large sediment source releases, like it gathers up sediment essentially, through time, and then once it lets go, it all kind of comes down at once. And it destroyed the existing structure. So meanwhile, during the emergency event, we put in a temporary bridge in that location, which is going to be replaced by a new bridge. Next slide, please. So in addition to, so for the new bridge is going to be 60 feet long, 34 feet out to out for the deck width. The stream through the area is going to be some pretty major stream realignment and construction in that area. The stream is going to be shifted slightly away from the dwelling that's downstream of the structure and create a more resilient, maintainable stream in the future. Downstream of the structure, you can kind of see that triangle shape of blue on the map. That's going to be essentially where the sediment is transported to, and it's given the opportunity to settle out in that location, since it's a pretty sharp or steep grade into the channel through that area, so it's going to settle out, and then like I said, when another storm event comes through, they can essentially dig that out, and then you're kind of back to normal. And I'll turn it over to Tom to talk about maintenance of traffic and the schedule.
Sure. Yeah, so this is the part that everyone cares about, is how's it gonna impact, my commute, my daily getting around. What we did here is we showed the map, and if you live on the little triangle, the Vermont 100A, Route 4, 100 triangle, the detours are going to be, I think, more difficult, because you might end up, having to go all the way around to get to your destination. What we've shown here is how the detour is going to impact through traffic. So we've shown, like Ludlow as a southern terminus, and going from Ludlow to Bridgewater, and right now that might take you 27 minutes. In 2027, when we have bridges out on 100A, you got to go up around to Route 4 and take the long way around, and really for that traffic, it only adds 4 minutes total travel time. But we recognize that for local folks, that can be a lot more difficult, because you are going to be kind of looping around there. We tried to give you estimates of closure durations here. So we're trying to plan these closures in 2027 to be in the 28-day range, And we're trying to do them during the summertime when, there isn't bus traffic, there isn't school bus
So 4 and
traffic.
7 will be done at the same time or sequentially?
We can't do them at the same time because there would be kind of an island in between where no one would be able to get north or south, so they'll be done sequentially, staggered, but in that same summer. All right, so I started with some 27 bridges, but I'm just trying to go the same order that we went through the bridges initially. So the next traffic situation, it's the same thing. But this is for this upcoming 2025 summer. Same idea, same detour. We're going to close Vermont 100A, and then the detour around will be heading up north and taking Route 4.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Where are you closing 100A?
We're trying to point to the spot right there, but this will be at Bridge 9. So
Right by your house, right?
Yeah.
So in order to get to our houses, we have to go all the way around?
Yes, sir.
You won't have to. Right, you won't have to right now. Because you'd be able to go up the notch.
Wow.
Where's that bridge you're talking about on 100A?
It's near Rick's house.
Is it where the pond is, or is it past the pond? That he's talking
I
about?
think Rick's house is probably the best, it seems like.
Yeah, do you know where my driveway is, Billy?
Yes,
The bridge just north of there,
yeah.
yes, yeah, I know the bridge you're talking about.
right there, right down by
Yeah,
the
because Rick
driveway.
was saying about getting to his house.
Yeah,
He'd be able to go up to the notch, up to Lion's Hill, no problem,
yeah,
right?
he will, yeah,
But if I wanna go Bridgewater Corners, I have to go all the way around.
correct, yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
It's like if you're on the south side of that, you would have to go all the way around to get to Bridgewater.
Correct.
So you'd have to go down 100 to all the way to Route 4 by Snowmobile, Killington, and come all the way down there?
When the notch was closed for me to go to Leadville, it was a 14-mile detour.
Yeah.
To go around the mountain.
Yeah, because if you're somewhere on 100A and you want to head north and you can't get there, so now you got to take the full loop.
Yeah, but that's,
Yeah.
it's part for the cost.
Yeah, and that's why we're trying to get these bridges done quickly. Now, 28 days to build a new bridge is pretty aggressive, So we're trying to give the contractors incentives so they get that done quickly, because we recognize it's difficult.
Are these all box culverts, or are they gonna be squish culverts? Or are they
The
block
bridges
culverts?
on 100A are called solid slabs. Those are prefabricated beams. So they're like about 5 to 6 feet wide, and it'll be that 50-foot length, 40 to 50-foot length.
Okay,
Yeah,
And
so
they're all prefabricated, the
big planks.
elements and everything are
Yeah.
prefabricated. So they're kind of big, like puzzle pieces, like them in, put it together.
yeah, okay,
So that's how they can do it in 28 days.
okay.
And when are you planning to start this, you said?
Okay, so the 2025 bridges are being advertised shortly, like they'll be trying to advertise before the end of the year, right?
Yep.
And construction would begin in April, but the closures wouldn't happen until school's out for the summer. So the contractor has some flexibility to do it over the summertime, but once they start, they have 28 days.
So this
Or
bridge,
this,
yeah,
that's
so
when
this,
it's 45.
this bridge is 45.
Yeah, my apologies.
So that.
45
you're saying
days?
That's 45 closed.
Correct.
2 months.
Yeah.
Alright, so this concerns me immensely. I have several employees, I own the country store here, who live in Bridgewater. You can't cut off their route for 2 months.
No, they'll take the detour. They would go down 100 to get.
But that's a 14-mile,
No, not for them.
no?
No, that's gonna put 7 miles onto them, plus from whatever from Route 4 to your store. Because I believe it's 7 miles from 100A to 100. I think it's 7 miles.
And then it's another 7 to the store.
Yeah.
So that's 14 miles.
It runs around, they'll probably put on a little more miles, but I don't think it's gonna be a lot. I think maybe about 3 miles.
Yeah, but my concern is when I have people opening the store
Right,
at 6:30 in the morning,
They'll have to leave a few minutes early.
which is gonna be a problem.
Do you have a lot more on your presentation?
No, it
So we have a couple more similar slides.
No, I understand that concern, you know.
Detours.
Let's get through this presentation, right?
Yeah.
Because we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a slide showing the closures on, Vermont 100 for bridges 112 and 116. it's a similar situation, just kind of flipped in reverse. We're gonna close Route 100, and the detour around is gonna be up 100A and back up over around Route 4. And again, if people are somewhere on Vermont 100, they might have to do the full loop around to get to a destination on the other part of the triangle. But those are planned for 2026. You know, and one of them is a longer closure, and the other one is a relatively quick closure for a box culvert. So the Bridge 112 that we showed, the box culvert, is about 2 weeks, and then we're aiming for 45 to 60 days for the bigger bridge, the one that's actually in Bridgewater.
That's okay.
It's just north of the border in Bridgewater.
That's the one that has a temporary bridge.
Yes. It has a temporary bridge, that's the spot, yeah. Yep, all right. And then the Moneybrook detour is definitely more significant because there's no way around. You know, we're south of 100A. You know, in order to get to points north of the Moneybrook crossings, you're talking about a long detour. You know, you're going over through Rutland. So if you were traveling, you know, Ludlow to Killington, which is a 30-minute journey, now you're talking about heading the long way around to get to Killington, and it's taking 56 minutes. So when that happens, we're gonna definitely try and accelerate those projects. Now, those are the two box culverts. We are able to do those fairly quickly, and we're aiming to do that in, you know, 1 to 2 weeks. And I don't think we have all the details worked out on that one yet. It's a little bit in the future. That could be, you know, all at one shot, or we could sequence it to have it be separate, 2 separate efforts.
Would that be in the middle of summer, or would it be more into like off-season?
That's interesting and that's the reason we're here, because there is some flexibility with that. So if there's a preference for one or the other, we'd love to hear that.
Well, you don't want to get
Well, I
into
live
the
near there, and to me, the
Absolutely.
traffic in July and August is definitely busier than, say, May or April.
Yeah, so if you can do it early
Or
season,
now, November.
Yeah.
Too late.
it is too late for the stream.
Winter
For the
would
stream
be a
market.
total disaster, but that's not gonna happen anyway.
Okay, that's good to understand, though. I mean, if there's times we definitely want to avoid, you know, we obviously wouldn't try and plan that during leaf peeping season, you know, like, we recognize that one, but if there are other local times when it's substantially busier than other times, please let us know.
Has any thought been given any consideration of how this is going to affect, I'm being total selfish when I say this, local businesses? Because if you do this thing, it's going to affect my sales immensely. People aren't going to travel around to come to the store. And this is like a major hub for people. I'm really concerned about this is how it's going to affect the operations at the store. And I don't know if anybody at the state thought about this. How is it going to affect local businesses?
So the Accelerated Bridge Program's been around since 2011. So bridge closures happen all over the state. We've done closures in downtown Woodstock and, you know, all different local areas around here. And absolutely, it affects businesses. And that's why we call it Accelerated Bridge Projects, right? Because we're doing a short duration, understanding it's going to be a big impact. And that's why we're trying to get it out versus having an entire year. It's going to be, you know, a portion of it.
Yeah, and that is the difference that we found, is that if the other way to do this project, or these types of projects, is to build half the bridge at a time. And by splitting that up, it costs quite a bit more. You know, you either put in a temporary bridge, or you split the bridge in half and build one half and have the traffic on the other half, and, you know, and then flip them back and forth. And then the projects last so much longer when you do that. That the disruption is, you know, you're either taking the Band-Aid off slowly, or we're trying to rip it off. And, you know,
But still, economical impact is not going to start. And I'm ready, who at the state do I talk to about this? Who's running this whole program up there? And who's at the top of the run?
Well, Jeremy Reed's the chief engineer, I mean, if you want to. But that's,
This is just not feasible. I'll be honest with you, this is crazy. these closures. And not only that, the dispensary, which is located at the corner of 100A and 100. It's, people will just stop coming. And it-
So they won't take 100 if they can't go on 100?
Well, I think we've seen about the bridge closed on 100. Nobody coming up from Ludlow.
Oh, you're talking about the one on Moneybrook.
Yeah, and I have vendors in Ludlow, I gotta get groceries delivered from it.
And that would be 1 to 2 weeks.
That's still quite an impact, it's at a small store. Okay.
All right.
I think I know the answer, but I just want to be clear. 112 and 116 are sequential, not simultaneous.
Correct.
Now, I have a question, that we just had this situation this afternoon, shutting that 100 off at Moneybrook. How do we get our fire apparatus from Plymouth? We have a big fire in Plymouth, and a lot of people came up from Proctor, Chester. You guys give that any thought? Because you're gonna be locking us off from help from the south.
Yep.
We're gonna rely on.
Before any bridge closure is commenced, there's a required meeting with the contractor and all the public services, emergency aid, fire, police, to all meet and have a plan prior to going into that closure period.
Okay. Have you ever think about a single lane temporary bridge with a traffic light?
For
Moneybrook, somehow. Yeah, I'm just giving a suggestion, because I hate to see us, if we were shut off right now, we really have a problem in Plymouth with that fire. I just want you guys on this is just probably one case scenario, but we have we have a major
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, yeah.
And we have a lot of people from Proctor, Ludlow, Chester, Wallingford, Mount Holly, that's the only way they can get here. So I just hope the state takes that into consideration.
Yep, we're currently at the conceptual plans design phase for this project, so we have quite a long ways to go in analyzing the schedule and refining, the durations of closures and work sequencing. So there's definitely more to come.
Yeah.
I like the idea with the box culverts, because they are faster to do. They get the jobs done, it's a very good idea, get away from the other stuff. I think the way I would sit, it's just, I know it's a little inconvenient, but we definitely need them fixed.
Do you have any more slides? You're all set.
Just me.
Questions?
I was just gonna tell people, if you wanna sign up for the stakeholder list to get email updates, have a paper and pen over there, so write your email down, and I'll add you to the list, and you'll get updates going forward.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. That was informative, I appreciate it.
Just the next slide here, there are some links to our project fact sheet site, so if folks want to learn more about the projects and maybe get updates as we go through the process. There is a fact sheet, and so in the presentation, there's some QR codes that you can scan on your phone if you want to, or you can go to V-Transparency on the V-Trans website, and you can locate the bridge on a map, and you can always get an update of the current scope of the project there.
And this presentation will be posted on the town website too.
Do you all meet with us again, or get some type of?
Yeah, last slide. So we have our process. I believe I sent final plans to the town for Bridge 9, so you guys have that. But as we go through the design phases, through preliminary plans, final plans, we'll send out plans and a letter to the town, just so you know what the status is and what the plan set is, and and the updates of where the project is at.
You'll have to start the bidding process, you said here soon?
So for Bridge 9, we're gonna advertise probably in January, so that'll be for the summer of 2025. But the next ones will be like the following fall, or when we'll advertise the project. So you're gonna get, this is gonna be 3 summers, right? So we're probably gonna get another round.
Do you typically have a penalty clause?
Yes, so for all the closures?
Yeah.
Yes, so each closure has an incentive or disincentive. So basically, we have that closure set time where we pick a day, and so they get, typically they get about half of the project incentive if they finish on time, and they get 100% of the incentive if they finish earlier. So a lot of these projects will finish like 2 or 3 days earlier. And if they don't finish, then they get a disincentive.
I think that's wise.
Yeah.
And the longer the detour and the more traffic travel on the detour, the more dollars we can put towards that incentive and disincentive. So that the one where that's going all the way around Rutland, you know, they count user miles and how long it takes to take that detour, and there's a cost associated with that. That cost, it, you know, relates to how much you can pay the contractor to get it done early.
That's how you calculate it.
You calculate it
That's
based on the
interesting.
user costs.
Yeah.
So if it were a, you know, a quick, easy detour, it doesn't make as much sense to have that incentive, disincentive, because it's not burdening the public as much. But, you know, a detour that has a lot of traffic and has a long way around, we can put some federal money towards, you know, incentivizing the contractor to get it done more quickly.
Okay.
So, I just wanna see if I'm right. So 2027, you're doing the 2 bridges on 100A, which will be sequential. But you're also doing Moneybrook on 100. So I'm assuming you won't do them at the same time.
So construction activities for Moneybrook are going to be occurring throughout the summer. The closures for Moneybrook are going to be, you know, during those isolated times, because there's quite a bit of approach work involved in the Moneybrook project. So, you know, installing the roadway shoulder protection, and so there's going to be construction
I
activities.
understand. My question is, are you going to close 100A and 100
Overlapping.
at the same time?
Yeah, I think we'll try and
And you
avoid.
make sure you avoid that,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that would be.
closely coordinating our closure duration.
Well, you know, because we went through 100 and the 2 bridges that we did a couple of years ago, and that didn't go according to plan at all.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a month closure, actually less than that, but
Or it
it was
lasted
just
2
3
months,
months.
3 months.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a tough project. That was a contractor that wasn't prepared, and also was during COVID,
Yeah,
and so they
But-
lost their resources.
you guys hired them. So,
Absolutely, and we did that incorrectly.
yeah.
Are there safeguards in place to make sure that something like that don't happen again?
Yes, because these are bridges, and that was a very structured contractor that we were testing the waters if they could work on a bridge. And so these are all involved bridges, so your bridge.
I understand closing half the road for construction, leaving the other half open does add costs. But the Muddy Brook bridge in that area has a high impact on traffic coming in and out of Plymouth from Ludlow, both for emergency services and just convenience to people traveling. Do you think you might look at that with a more open pocketbook as far as whether or not to close?
That's why we're here tonight, for your comment right there.
So, you know, like I said, you know, when we get further into the design phase, then we can understand a little bit better, a clearer understanding of, you know, what the closure schedules will look like. You know, what we do is we break up, or we create what they call a critical path method schedule for the construction of the project, essentially taking every minute detail of construction and essentially constructing it, theoretically through the schedule to say, okay, you know, are these all reasonable timeframes? You know, what's involved in putting this together? We have pretty extensive history over the past decade of, you know, track records of other contractors and how fast they perform these tasks. Yeah.
I get this Bill's comment about looking into doing 1 lanes with
Yeah,
sidewalks. You should really do that, because that'll alleviate a lot of issues, as long as people get through there. Especially emergency services, which we have a major fire right now that 3 condos just burned down. It'd be horrible. You'd look at loss of life at that point. So this is good. I don't think this is going to be thought out.
I guess we're all set. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. Good presentation. Next on the agenda, review and approve a MRF grant documents. So, we received a $500,000 grant, thanks to Jay and Angela, who put together all the applications and all the follow-ups. And that is for the completion of the mechanical systems on this building. So we're prepared to, we were supposed to approve this grant application tonight, and I was just looking it over, and most of it's just boilerplate stuff. It looks pretty clean and simple to me. Do you have a chance to read that?
No.
Okay. I'd like to get going on that for a lot of different reasons, and I'm prepared to put out an advertisement for bids for contractors, like next week. And we have all the documents that we need. We have plans, specifications, outline scopes. So we're ready to move, because we are anticipating getting this award. And I'd like to have board approval to move forward with the invitation to bid. See any reason why we couldn't do that, Keith? I mean, if that grant application has to be signed, and
It's been a long time.
we can review that again with Jay and take our time and send it in a week or two, but I'd still like to start the process of starting an advertisement, invitation to bid. If you're okay with that?
We're not gonna disapprove the grant.
Right, right. Here is a copy of the language I wrote up, Keith, for invitation to bid. Pretty straightforward. And tomorrow I'd like to get together with Angela and get it going in the papers and get it advertised.
When do you wanna start doing construction on that stuff, though?
Well, if we award it December 16th, it'll probably be in January.
Will they start working in January?
Yeah, because there's a bunch of mechanical work inside this building and the fire department building, that's inside work. That's why I'd like to get that inside work done this winter, and then concentrate on the garage, work in the spring, when Larry can move all his equipment outdoors.
Did they come back with any restrictions on these funds?
I haven't found any in that application. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
No, I just saw the general language from the overall grant, the award.
And
for
that language is in there.
Resilience, Bob, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to look through this.
Yeah, okay. There should be, actually, there's your copy right there. It was in the packet. It was in your packet that was here.
This is all the legalese in reference to the grant itself.
Yeah, it's all boilerplate stuff that I can tell. The first 2 pages pertain to the project, and the rest is just boilerplate language.
Do we have to spend all of it in order to take it?
No, we don't have to. I bet we will. I bet we'll find a way.
What if we don't, say we don't spend $100,000 of it, is there something else we can do with it?
Maybe. Maybe.
Oh,
As long as it fits in the guidelines of energy efficiency.
Right, okay, that's where I'm
Yeah,
driving.
we can change the scope. We have some flexibility, as long as we
So we
stay
don't
in
spend it on
the
all
intent. Yeah,
Heat pump or whatever.
yeah, that's what it's all about.
You won't know, you won't know until you get the
Yeah, exactly.
bid, obviously, what
Exactly.
it's gonna cost.
Yeah, exactly. If for some reason it goes over, we'll have to take another look at
Over
this.
that number?
Yeah, if it does, we'll just look at the scope, and we'll do some value engineering and start taking stuff out of the project.
To stay within the,
Yeah, stay within that guidelines. I'm not asking for a penny more than that from the town. I'm not going there.
well, they awarded the full 500.
They awarded the full 500,
Yeah.
and that's the budget we presented to them, so we'll put it out to bid and see where we're at.
You got anybody in mind?
Well, the contractors that were here, VMS has been showing interest in it, and I don't have anybody else in mind right now. We'll give it some thought and maybe send it out to a couple of local contractors that I think could do the job.
It'll be advertised.
Yeah, did we?
I'm saying it will be.
Yeah, yeah, this is what's gonna go in the paper.
Yes, so anybody can come bid on it then.
Yep, they can. Yep, and it's our job to make sure they're qualified.
I'm sure. I
and
mean,
to
a
to
big,
do that kind of work.
what that company in Ludlow might come, what's the name of the heating company down there, no? Didn't they do work for us already?
Oh, yeah. But you see, it needs a GC, Keith, because like in the mix, there's the concrete work and demolition.
For the
and-
floor?
Yeah. And if we go with that 6-inch slab, there's a door that has to be raised, and so there's masonry work that has to be cut and lintels put in, and there's GC work along with just mechanical work. So we want to keep it under the umbrella of a GC, so they have the liability and responsibility of managing the whole thing.
Right, they farm it out to whoever.
Yeah, they sub it out to whoever's qualified. So, if there's no objections, I'd like to move forward, at least put that in the paper.
Yeah, I
We still have time to, if for some reason this falls apart and we decide we're not gonna sign it, which is crazy, this doesn't do any harm, you know? So we'll put that out to bid. All right, that's review of the MRF grant. Citizens' comments. There's concerns of high-speed racing cars on Sunday mornings.
Yeah, what's up
Is
with
that you? All
I
right.
don't know if Angela has seen it.
Oh, I believe you.
Absolutely shocked.
Rick talked about it
At least
already.
20 vehicles doing 80-plus, beautiful cars, Porsche, beautiful. But, I've actually seen it twice. And the one time I made note of it was that Sunday morning, but I can't remember what the other one was. But to be honest, if anybody, I actually had a dream that I was driving on 100 when they came and passed me. So
Do you think this is a regular Sunday morning thing?
I don't know if it's a Sunday morning thing. I don't even know if it's a regular thing, but I have seen it more than once. And, I mean, it's a lot of vehicles. They're very close together. They're obviously very, very good drivers. And they think that Route 100 is like a drag strip or something. But.
Okay.
It's a good road to drive fast, though.
I'm telling you, they were impressive, but it was terrifying. But my thing is, because I was actually going to use that to lead into a discussion about the Windsor County Sheriff. And the fact that they're just, and I know, KT, we're not a police state here, and we're not out to get everybody, but now we're not getting anybody, and it's gotten more dangerous again. And, I
Okay.
walk out to my mailbox, and I'm afraid, somebody's gonna just leave me spinning in the wind here, they go flying.
Did you say you talked to the sheriffs?
I haven't, no, I was gonna say, could be me. Could
Rick.
be-
We could.
Rick, you were talking about this last time. Rick's seen them too.
Oh, no, you saw them too, didn't you? Yeah. And Angela said she
They
saw
go
them.
right by the store, but I have talked to Ryan and several people there, they responded quickly.
Oh, good,
One
okay.
time they did do, they put an ATV out on the cars. There was about 22 cars.
Okay,
And,
did they get any of them?
I didn't ask, they said they were on it though.
Yeah.
But they.
Well, great, they're on it.
That was,
What,
I
they're,
think
like,
that was the
chasing
weekend
them
of the hill
across?
climb in Ludlow.
Well, yeah, they went.
And there were all the hill climbs.
They've been around a lot. It's a
Oh, no
group.
kidding.
They did it last year too.
2 weeks.
Was it the hill
But you know
climb?
what?
Okay, Carol,
Yes,
Um,
my point was
It might-
that, we have this balance that shifted, and what we've been paying for this share,
Well,
and.
that'd be cool to
services
see.
went down.
Quickly.
I'm not arguing one way or another, I just would like to see them do more patrol. I'd like to see them out a little bit more.
Now it's all coming back to me.
If they don't want to do it, all the other towns, and the guys before, Mike Chamberlain offered this, that they have the solar panel,
We talked about that last time that Rick was talking about it, yeah. Great.
we're talking about the traffic
Yeah,
light?
Angela's got the application in.
portable, and, just remind people what the speed is.
Okay,
The speed issue is come back in a big way.
let me share with you where we're at with that traffic light, okay?
Okay.
It is a process, and we're almost there. We had to do a traffic count, identify the pole where we're gonna put it. We had to get application work done with Two Rivers helped us on it. Then we had to go through a process to DOT to get it approved. And we went through all of that, and we've got approval on it. We got a permit, all right? And I just spoke to Angela 2 weeks ago, and she was gonna order the light. And I don't know how far she is in that process, but we're on it, okay? We're on it. And I think that'll help.
Yeah.
I mean, when people see that, they slow
I
down.
think so too, except for the drag races. I think they'd be delighted to see how high they can get the number.
So it took time, but we got it done.
No, that's fantastic. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's in the works.
And I know, listen, you survive this long, you can survive longer, you know.
No, it'll happen.
I'm gonna get a rocking chair and a shotgun and sit down in my driveway.
We've got enough time invested in it, it'll happen.
Where do you guys want to put the traffic light?
Huh?
Where do you put the traffic light, may I ask?
I think the first suggestion was made where you're first coming into the village, where the speed changes.
Oh, so it shows them change of speed, not an actual red light?
Oh, yeah, no, not a
turn
stoplight.
signal from
No,
a
no.
stoplight,
No,
Okay,
no,
thank God.
no, it's a warning light, you know.
Well,
Your speed's too fast,
My comment would be, put a sheriff there and a sheriff there, perfect.
yeah.
They are doing a good job. They're out in front of the store at least twice a week. I do know that. So they're doing a good job. The sheriffs, they're trying their best.
So basically, you get a light that says your speed and
Yeah.
that'll slow it down.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep.
It lets people aware of what's going on,
Yep.
picks them up. Okay.
So you'll see that in the near future.
Great.
Yeah.
Can we have a ribbon cutting?
Two Rivers Ottaquiche Shared Services, I'm not sure what that is. So we'll just put that one on the next agenda, maybe Jay knows.
Is that our payment to them? I think that's what it was. Renew, we talked about the fee that comes up. We probably have to approve the fee or something,
Okay,
but I don't know what it is.
well,
They charge the town a fee, it's based on population, it's about $2 grand a year.
okay.
And they provide a multitude of services.
But don't they do grants writing for us and everything?
Yeah, they do quite a bit. A lot of legal service free,
Legal
you know.
services, planning.
We tap into the legal team a lot too with questions, so that's good. Number 10, Select Board to appoint delinquent tax collector. We have a volunteer.
Elaine? No.
Surprise.
Did we advertise for the position? We did not.
Probably would be the first step, right?
Well,
Unless somebody has come forward.
Bruce?
It's not gonna go back to the way it used to be, is it?
Well, it's a position that the town needs to have.
We gotta have
So there
somebody.
needs to be someone.
I'm not sure what you mean, Bruce, the way it used to be.
The delinquent tax, the fine was rather high, and I think it still is high, and it seems like at one point, the tax collector pocketed that whole fine.
That,
Is
the
that,
delinquent tax collector who was elected was paid by from the 8% penalty
Yeah,
if you were late, but,
Oh, back in the
yeah.
previous
But now,
days.
as
Yeah, I
a
know,
volunteer,
that's- I know what you
just
mean
paid
now.
what they earned per hour.
yeah, that was the intent,
Yeah,
to not go backward.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now. I didn't know what you were talking about. Now I know what you're talking about, and I agree with you.
Yeah, it's not going
Council
back to
charges
that.
the 8% penalty, but that money goes into the town's general fund.
Right.
do you have to be a resident, or?
Okay, we'll run an ad. That's a good suggestion. Let's do
I
that.
don't know, that's a good question. Yeah, you do, right?
I'll volunteer too, I'd help.
Do you
have
wanna
to be
do
a
it?
resident, though? Can I do it?
Do you wanna come and send down for late notices?
Yeah, I can do that. I do it for my tenants, send out late rent checks, and it's the same thing. I mean, think about it, I'm fine to help if you want.
I think it should be posted, any job should be posted in the paper,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the 4 places in the community that was.
You're right, Mike. You're right. We should do,
Any type of work.
we'll do that.
Good.
Yep. We're gonna advertise on that one, Beth. Okay, number 11, review and approve bids for dry hydrant. Do we have that here? Is that in Jay's piles? We need to do that tonight.
There's a lot in there.
Yeah. It's not that.
I see they're unloading it right now.
Yeah, I know. I know, that's why we need to sign it.
Too
Oh,
late.
brother, shade services.
Oh, there's Laura.
Might be that.
Dry hydrant bid, yep.
Oh, okay. You have the honors. Dry hydrant bid.
Open the bid.
Yep,
Moser excavating, what a surprise.
we did advertise this and we got one bid. And, huh? Mr. Moser.
$45,250.50.
I make a motion, we approve Moser's bid for $45,250.50.
50 cents, yeah. That's the only bid we got?
The only bid we got.
Call it the high bid.
Put a diving board on it so we can.
The diving board.
Okay.
Sure. I think it's in here. Diving board's in here.
Approved.
Doc loves it down.
Approved.
Review and approve changes made to conflict of interest. I'd like to put that one off so we can get Jay involved in that discussion.
What's that one?
Conflict of interest policy.
That was on there, sorry,
Conflict of interest.
that was on there because.
For a vendor or
grants.
people doing work for us? Or am I thinking of something else?
I don't,
I think the reason it was put on there is they were trying to update two of the policies so that it had federal terms in it, just so when we apply for the grants, we've got
Well, for the
federal.
fire department? Didn't we do that for the fire department grant? We had
yeah,
to change it?
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
Now we're
So
doing,
basically, that's what
Oh, these
that
are the
is.
changes, okay.
It's just, and you all have them in your little packet.
Okay.
But it was just, they needed those done for,
That fire department grant. Yeah.
for the grant
Yeah.
that you're trying to.
So we've already had this discussion, we've already reviewed this, this is just a formal document. I'll make a motion, we approve the conflict of interest policy and we sign it.
does Jay have to sign it?
Yeah, we all three do, but if we can sign it, because we're here and Jay can sign it tomorrow. If you don't have any objections. There you go. Yeah, check that one off. Review and approve changes made to procurement policy.
We have a pile started over there?
Is there, let's see, that one was bidding policy. Oh,
We just had the minutes, that's the only other thing. We didn't sign them.
They're over there.
We approved it, but we didn't sign them.
oh, okay.
With that and that would be two things in our pile so far.
Where,
Well, we can sign the minutes after, you know, we don't gotta look for them this moment.
here we go, this is it. You're right. That's that. Okay,
Oh,
we're signing a copy.
I
Okay,
had to scribble that copy out.
glad you're here.
Well,
All right.
well, let's be happy that Jerry was here. These are the ones you need to sign,
Okay,
okay?
thank you. Wow.
Oh, boy.
There's that. And procurement, let's see what's going on there. Are the changes highlighted or anything, do you know?
They're highlighted in your copies, but that's the.
I'm putting this over here.
Okay,
Signed. Now that this
Now-
thing is the,
she's saying the changes are in our packet. So let's see if we can find, they're highlighted.
This is bidding, that's not it. This is conflict of interest policy.
Conflict of interest, you got that. And we got-
That's it. This is the highlighted stuff here.
Right, right. Well, wait a minute. conflict of interest. We're on procurement.
Oh, we moved on?
Yeah, we moved on. We approved that one.
But where's that signed copy? You have it? We have to re-sign it, right? You signed a copy of it. We have to sign the official one.
Right. That's what that is, right?
This is the minutes.
Minutes, okay.
Can't be, calling the chair, we gotta bring it back.
I'm looking for the original,
The original the conflict of interest one that we've got to sign.
it's not a copy. We were signing copies. And you-
Right, and
you
then I
yelled at
gave,
me.
well, I didn't mean, what's?
This is the
that's
signed
minutes?
official minutes copy.
That's,
Okay,
that's
Or
there's-
signed mission, this is not a
Okay,
copy,
so-
this is a signed version.
Copy, because I gave you, so that's copy 2, and then,
Or is this the?
No.
No, this is a bidding, that's totally different.
procurement.
This is what we're
I
looking
had it in my
for.
hand a minute ago.
did you tuck it back into Jay's?
I don't know.
Conflict of interest.
That's it.
Okay.
And we signed that or we didn't sign? No. Yes, we did. Okay, give me that.
All right.
Putting that over here.
All right, so now we're on procurement,
Procurement.
and.
No, this is, we changed this too. We changed
Yeah,
language
you
in
got-
here.
Yeah, the changes are in that copy. All right, it's the last paragraph. So this is the change in the procurement policy. I'll read it. It's one paragraph I think we added. Purchasing with federal fund awards. When purchasing with federal fund awards, the town of Plymouth will review the terms and conditions on the grant agreement, costs and prices based on estimated costs for contracts under the federal award of allowables only to the extent that costs incurred or cost estimates included in negotiated prices would be allowed for the town of Plymouth under 2 CFR Part 200, Subpart E, Cost Principles. All written solicitations for goods and services will be based upon a clear and accurate description of the technical requirements for the material, products, or services to be procured. Sounds like a lot of legal mumbo jumbo, but I'm sure that's where it came from. So that's what we're adding to the procurement policy. And I'm sure this was added as a result of the fire department applying for a grant, and they needed this language in our policy. That's what I am told. So I make a motion, we approve the changes in the procurement policy. And if you agree, we'll sign this one right here. This is the original.
Yeah, I agree. Didn't we have to make other changes in it though, or did we already make them?
I think they were made earlier.
About the regular
The
and the
date is the 18th,
major purchases? Yeah.
11, 18, 24. There you go. All right, next on the list. Select Board to approve software company for enhanced firewall security protection. I think we're gonna wait on that one too.
Well, Jay was getting another bid, wasn't he?
Yeah, so we'll put that one off. Review possible approval of 2023 AFG grant for Plymouth Volunteer Fire Department. So nobody's here from the fire department to show us that grant application, so we'll have to put that one on next month. Other business, any other business? Everybody's smiling, that's good. All right,
Nobody back there hiding?
next meeting is December 2nd, and Keith and I are gonna go through warrants, and we'll call it a go.
You did good. Thank you, Rick.
Hey, it's a team effort, man. We got a team here, so
Taking over the chair?
no way. Not even close. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Let's see if we can get through warrants. I signed a bunch earlier.